Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Town of Barnstable Board of Health meeting for Tuesday, January 23rd. Roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Dr. Guadagnoli? Here. Dr. Leskow?
Here.
Dr. Canna? Here. And John Norman?
Here.
Thank you. Dr. Waller isn't able to be present today.
Having quorum, I just need to read from this meeting notification. This meeting will be played via Xfinity Channel 8 on High Definition Channel 1072. It may also be accessed via Government Access Channel, live video on demand watching. The meeting will be This meeting will be recorded. If there's any, under Mass General Laws, anyone that is going to be recording this meeting has to let the chair know. Anyone else going to be recording this meeting? Seeing none, move on from that. The first item on the agenda today is Secondary Treatment Unit, STU with variances. Michael Pimentel, JC Engineering, representing Ronald Schlobel, owner 46 Route 149, Marston's Mills, map parcel 077-024, 12,196 square foot parcel, proposing to install a microfast model 0.5 to replace the failed existing 3-bedroom septic system, requesting multiple variances. Afternoon, Michael.
Can you folks hear me okay?
Yep, why don't you give us the rationale for this?
So, yeah, this, for the record, my name is Mike Pimentel. I'm with JC Engineering. And this project is located over at 46 Route 149. There's an existing 3-bedroom home on the property with a failed septic system. The system currently consists of a septic tank, to a secondary tank, to a D-box, and then to a failed leaching system that's located approximately a foot away from a BVW. The whole system is within the riverfront as well. So what we're proposing to do is to replace the system completely with a new Title V system. The system is going to comprise of an IA system with UV disinfection. So there'll be a septic tank that houses the microfast unit, to a pump chamber that will pump uphill to a series of LC6 chambers that's located at least 41 feet away from the BVW. Try to maximize the distance, from the BVW as much as possible on this very tiny lot, and we found that this location would work the best. The separation of groundwater with this new leaching system is greater than 5 feet, and we're providing erosion control in the form of straw wattles down gradient, just as a precautionary measure to protect the wetlands, so that any sedimentation go down its way. We did go in front of the Conservation Commission as well a couple of weeks ago, received approval from them. And now we are in front of the Board of Health to seek approval for this project, along with multiple variances. And if you'd like, I can go through each one of them. So the first one's a local upgrade approval for the setback of the SAS to the wetland. We don't meet the 50 feet minimum per Title V, so we're asking for an 8.6-foot waiver. We're also asking for 3 local variances from the town's regulation. One being for the septic tank to the wetland. That's a 69.7-foot variance. We're also asking for a variance from the pump chamber to the wetland, which is a 69.9-foot variance. And finally, we're asking for a variance from the SAS to the wetland. The variance request is for 58.6 feet. We think, as you can see, this is a tremendous improvement to what's there now, where you have an existing failed leaching system in the groundwater, and now we're providing a a microfast IA system design with UV disinfection. So we're here to seek approval from you folks.
Thank you so much for that. This is a public hearing. If there's any members of the public that would like to speak on this matter, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Staff report on this, Tom?
Yes, the health inspector reached out to you earlier today about 3 issues not issues, but requirements of the state DEP in regards to notification of the owner about the IA system, an O&M plan, and certification plan. You received that email?
Yeah, I received that email from Don Ismaris this morning, and I responded to him, letting him know that, A, the O&M plan is actually in the Board of Health variance packet that was submitted, so that is included in there.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
When you look at the floor plan, there's 2 kitchens, 2 living rooms, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms between the 2. Are these 2 separate dwelling units? Should they be a double compartment tank because you have 2 dwelling units?
Well, 2 things on that. I don't believe so. I believe this is a single-family home. And even if it weren't, then this microfast system design would not allow for a two-compartment tank or
It
two
does
tanks
not?
in series. No, we do not. It does not. We've gone through this on other properties, duplexes, things of that nature, and we've always been told that Title V is, the microfast folks are exempt from Title V requirements for having two tanks in series or a multi-compartment tank. They require only a single tank because this is how the microfast works best.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But definitely, it looks like you got an entrance to the lower floor, separate entrance, and you got an entrance to the main floor, and it looks like it could be two separate family
My
dwelling.
knowledge, Tom, it's a single-family home.
Okay, that's all I have, thanks.
Thank you for that, staff. Any other comments or questions from members of the board? Tom Lee?
No, we don't have any comment. We approved this from the Concom a couple weeks ago when we had the meeting, and we kind of anxious to see, the IA system going in these locations instead of to replace the existing septic system. So that's why we say appreciate that effort.
Are the variances listed on the plan?
Yes, sir. On the right-hand side, under the notes, you'll see where it's in bold letters there. Items, general note number 23 and number 24.
Yeah.
I don't have,
Oh, okay, all right. And on the town website, this is listed as a two-bedroom house. It's not, it's listed as a two-bedroom house, not a three-bedroom house. Now, I don't know why that brings you here, but
is that in a nitrogen-sensitive area? Saltwater?
It's not in a zone 2. Is it in an
it's
estuary?
in an estuary protection. It's right on
Well, it's
It's on
close to the mill,
149.
to the
If it's
Marston's
only-
Mill River.
Okay, then automatically you're allowed maximum of 3 bedrooms if that's the only zone you're in.
Right.
Don?
Move to approve.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve all the variances requested on the application. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I abstain.
One abstention, 4 approvals. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care.
This thing's gonna be good again.
Do you want any of these plans back?
If it serves no purpose for you, sure, I'll take them back to you.
Thanks, Mike.
The next item on the agenda, a food temporary event, Erica Tsao Hadis, the Arts and Justice Collective, is requesting a temporary food permit for their event, Lunar New Year Celebrations, to be held at 529 Main Street, Hyannis, on Saturday, February 3rd, from 11 to 2.
That's the old Wings, the former Wings store.
Welcome, good afternoon.
Hi, how
Just
are
make sure that green light is on there,
you? Yes.
okay? And just give us the rationale and the kind of the overview of it.
Absolutely. So we are a community collective made up of various nonprofit organizations and community program providers. And we are holding a Lunar New Year celebration at 529 Main Street. It'll be a free event for the whole community. There will be performances, a traditional Chinese instrument. There'll be kung fu performances and a lion dancer and various activities for the communities to engage in, like calligraphy and different things like that. So part of it and part of the culture and part of the celebration is food. So we are proposing to be able to serve dumplings, Chinese, like pan-fried dumplings, and also spring rolls as a hot food option for the guests. It'll, again, all be free and available, and we'd be making the food order from the Golden Fountain, which is on West Main Street, about I'd say about 3 to 4 minute drive to the venue location. My husband is our food person. I have provided his certificates and allergen certificates. The way I picture this is that we would have the hot food table with the buffet kind of the steam trays all set up, and the food would be covered, and our staff would hand out the food with tongs and gloves on for the event. If there's any other, and I can answer any questions.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
This is a public hearing. If there's any members of the public that would like to speak on this, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Staff, Tom?
Staff had questioned the time to relocate the food from the kitchen to the
Yeah.
location. As you said, it's 3 to 5 minutes. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure the food doesn't go out of temperature. Other than that, we had no objections or questions for this.
Okay, thank you for that. Members of the board, any comments or questions? Tom Lee?
Is this the first time?
So actually, we put on a Lunar New Year event last year, same place. It was awesome, but we did only packaged food last year. We didn't go through this, and we kind of wanted to up it a little and bring in some hot food. So yeah, last year we did it. It was only a 2-hour event. This year it's a 3-hour event. If you can make it, it'll be great. Yeah.
Too bad I'll be in Toronto at that time for the Chinese New Year.
Oh, that's good for you. That'll be really good Chinese food up there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Actually, the Chinese New Year is February the 10th on a Saturday.
That's right. Yeah. I couldn't get the lion dancers that day, so yeah.
Thanks. Any other comments, questions? Entertain a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Good luck, and
Thank you so much. I hope to see some of you there.
thank you so much.
Good luck.
So the next item on the agenda, we've been kind of kicking around. This is a offshoot of our policy that we've been trying to craft as far as a temporary holding for tanks at locations where public sewer will be provided in the near future within 2 or 3 years. Tom has done a lot of work, Tom McKeon and Tom Lee, on this. We haven't gotten the cooperation from state DEP that we were hoping for to understand the situation. I think all of us up here understand that if you have someone that has a septic system that has been given a failure, whether it's a real estate transfer, and the normal process would be to have to put a new septic system in within 6 months. If there's a inspection done, the septic fails, Board of Health gets a copy of that, they send out a notification saying you have 6 months to upgrade. Well, if sewer is only a year or 2 away, common sense tells you can't make a resident pay several thousands of dollars to upgrade their septic system only to be told a year and a half, 2 years later, you got to spend several $1,000s to hook up to town sewer. So we were hoping to work with DEP to draft up a regulation that would allow us to put in a holding tank, just a single tight tank. And then Tom Lee had multiple conversations with them and just finally came back that no, they're not in favor of that. So we've been kicking around more ideas, and Tom McKeon kind of came up with the idea of, well, if they've got a septic system, it's got a failed leaching, but it's not a hydraulic failure, which means there's actual sewage bubbling up to the ground, which would obviously be a health hazard. We could bridge the time between the time that they have this problem and they hook up to the sewer by just allowing more pumping of the septic system. So a lot of times, if a system can process, say, 500 gallons, 400 gallons a day in disposal, and never have a problem with, never come to the surface, never fail an inspection, well, all of a sudden, the system, as the system gets older, that starts to decline. Now maybe only can process 375 gallons a day, but the homeowner's still putting in 400 gallons a day on average, and that's when it starts to build up. So a combination of allowing people to pump more often without triggering a mandatory repair, because as the policy is right now, if you pump within 4 times in 1 year, it triggers a repair notification. So we are looking at, and that you have copies in front of you of the latest draft of a policy where we would continue to use the septic tank as a holding facility, but not really a holding facility, to try and help homeowners bridge that gap between actually hooking up to the town sewer and having the septic system on site still utilized. So we're not going to, vote on this today. I just wanted to get this first draft out to everybody, have some conversations about it, have the public have access to it, and then maybe at our next meeting, have a public hearing on it, make any minor changes, and then at that time, see if we get any input from the public, stakeholders in this, and then maybe vote at that time. So take a look at it, review it. If you have comments or questions, forward them to me or Tom, and we'll make little adjustments as you see, talk to your neighbors, see if anybody else thinks that we just, trying to work within DEP regulations, not get them on our backs, but trying to get, and I again, so appreciate Tom Lee's, time he spent trying to deal with DEP, and they just wouldn't budge. It just would not budge, and so I think this is kind of a compromise where we're not saying that you never have to upgrade your system. We're just saying we'll allow you to pump. So if you pump 5, 6 times in 1 year to keep your system from overflowing, to keep it healthy, without being a health problem, to bridge that time gap between. Dr. Guadagnoli?
So by they wouldn't budge, you mean they want you to go in and replace the whole system and then the following year hook up to sewage?
Yes. They don't accept a temporary holding system.
Yeah.
Okay.
And DEP still has state DEP still has the 2-year deadline to upgrade your system. So if sewer's coming in 3 years, you're paying twice.
Right, okay.
I mean, that's,
Thank you for your work on it, though.
yeah, it was, if any of you remember the Stewart's Creek, there is, a mathematical equation that Dr. Miller had come up with where, if you had a system within 3 years, you didn't have to hook up for 15 years, or don't quote me on those numbers, I don't have it in front of me, but that's why some of the homes over in Stewart's Creek are still not hooked up to the sewer because they had just recently upgraded their septic, so they've been given the longest amount of, time to hook up. And some of those are coming due soon, and, they'll hook up when it's time that they have to. So again, just take a look at this policy, comments, questions. We'll let it kind of filter through the public and see if we have any input on it. I'm assuming it would be positive because we are, I think, working very hard to help people to understand people's situations and be of a benefit to people in the future so they don't end up putting in a brand new septic system. And if someone, opts to, if it's a closing on a property and there's problems with the bank, they're like, no, we want a new system, and that's up to them. But as far as our policies in this town, I think we need to be proactive and in understanding, the financial burden it'll create onto our residents. Okay? Thank you for that. And then the minutes, have a chance to review. Any comments or questions on it? I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from November 28th, 2023, and December 19th, 2023. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous. Thank you. And having gone through the agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much, everyone.